you put Will Jeffress on him towards the end of the game. What can you do a little bit better to just slow him down from the start?
I don't know. I mean, he's really good, and they're really good. They're a very, very good, explosive offensive team. If you try to double, they have such great shooting around and playmaking. If you leave him by himself playing one-on-one, he's shown that he can score the basketball at a really, really high percentage, doing it very efficiently. And so, you just have to try to, fight and try not to let him get the spots, and hopefully you can contest shots, and hopefully he misses some of them. But he's a really, really good player.
Chris Carter, go ahead, sir.
Morning, Jeff. Wanted to ask about as far as you guys' ability to win on the road, how big of a role do you see you guys' ability to rebound? You're one of the best in the ACC of that, and play defense as some of the biggest factors for you guys being able to go into road environments and get wins.
Well, I think to be a good team, you have to be able to do those two things well, period. Home, road. Certainly when you're on the road, there's a toughness that your team has to have, and a mindset and mentality to be able to go out and deal with different types of teams, environments, and things like that. Defense and rebounding are two things that normally travel. And so if you can be consistently good there, I think you give yourself a chance. We've been fortunate. We've been pretty good there, and hopefully it's something that we can continue to do.
Go next to Jerry DePaula.
Good morning, Jeff. Taking the 12 games this calendar year into account, you've only committed more than 10 turnovers 3 times and won all 3 games. What's been the key? And had 8 turnovers at Virginia, 3 the other night. What's been the key for you?
Well, I think that's an area where we've been pretty good all year. I think our guys have a good feel of what we want to do offensively. We've been able to play against different styles, whether it's physicality, whether it's pressure, and to be able to value the basketball regardless of the situation. Now, it's something we have to continue to do. Wake Forest can really apply pressure on the perimeter, and watching them, it looks like their ball screen defense. They've changed it a little bit from when we played them last time, where they get after you a little bit more. So it's going to be really, really important in this next game because of how explosive they are offensively.
Go next to Connor O'Neill.
Jeff, to kind of follow up there, how do you limit turnovers so well with 2 freshman guards that handle the ball so often?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have gotten better as the season has gone on. Experience helps. Being in different situations helps. Film study, practice, all those things. Those guys having a pretty high IQ and being able to pick things up. I think all of those things help.
And then if I could follow up on something not entirely related there, in relation to Blake Hinson and how much of a tough shot maker he is that more skill or mentality to be that kind of player?
I think it's a little bit of both. You certainly have to have skill, but you have to have the confidence and belief in yourself, to be able to live with the results. And what I mean by that is that you have to be able to live if you miss and not let that affect you or get you down. That's one of the things that I admire about him. He's willing to live with whatever result comes from some of those shots. It doesn't get him down. It doesn't get him where he stops believing in his ability to get hot and go on a run.
Go next to Chris Clark.
Good to see you again, Coach Capel, with the ACC returning to DC this year, and you having one of the better players from the DMV on your roster there. I wanted to ask you what it was about those guys that you like having on your team, why you recruit them. Is there something special or different about the brand of ball up there in that area? Yeah,
well, we try to recruit good players from everywhere. They have a lot of them in the DMV area. The high school basketball there is second to none. It's arguably the best. You could have People in Chicago probably argue about it. I know in my home state of North Carolina, there would be some arguments. I heard the end of Micah's stuff, and certainly Indiana. LA probably would have an argument, but it's as good as any as I've seen. The competition, the level of excellence from the coaches, the AAU scene with the programs there, and they practice. Like, it's not just you roll the ball. Like, those guys get after it. They teach. And then because of that, the competition level in that area, like, you got to bring it, because if not, against, like, no matter who you're playing, you can get embarrassed. You can get shown up. And then the pride and, that they have in representing their area. Like, they know the history, they know the guys that have come before, they grew up watching, and they want to be in that spot. And so I think that's what you get from the players there, guys that are well coached, guys that are ultra competitive and certainly talented. And it's great to be going back to DC. It's a great basketball city. It's a great sports city. It's a great city. And so to be able to have the ACC tournament there is really cool.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. And not for nothing, caught you at your retirement, jersey retirement in high school. Looked like you still might be able to fit into that thing actually there. So good job with that.
We'll go next to Kip Coons.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. A few weeks ago, I asked you about the format the ACC tournament might end up being with 18 teams. And you were pretty outspoken about how you felt that real March Madness meant everybody should be invited. Well, the decision out of the winter meetings was that you're staying at 15 teams. And I wondered what your reaction to that was. And also, why 15 and not, say, 16, which would not increase the the rounds by another day?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I didn't really know what they, decided on, to be honest with you. I've been so locked into our team that I didn't know that until you just said it. So I don't know what I don't really have a response right now, because I haven't really looked at it. I do think all teams should be able to go and participate. That's something I believe in strongly. But as far as anything else, I didn't know.
We'll go next to go back to Chris Carter.
Jeff, you guys have the best perimeter defense percentage-wise in the ACC right now, and you're going up against a team, Wake Forest, that's among the better three-point shooting teams in your conference. You guys did a good job at limiting them. What did you do well the last time, and what do you have to kind of keep in mind going into their home environment for this next game?
Yeah, well, last time, I thought we did some good things. We got a little bit lucky, too. They missed some that they normally make. We expect them to make it home. Number one, we have to limit their transition. They're very good in transition, especially at home. And their crowd really gets into it and feeds off of it. And then number two, we have to contain dribble penetration. They normally have three guys at least on the floor that can all dribble, pass, and shoot, that can put the ball on the floor and create for themselves and others. And then you have Card that can step away and shoot the basketball and spread you out. And then, like I said, you have Efton inside that can score with his back to the basket. They're a very difficult team to defend. And so you kind of have to pick your poison. You have to fight and play hard and, follow a game plan. And then you got to get a little bit fortunate and lucky too.
All right. Last question will come from George Michalowski.
Jeff, Blake's been getting all sorts of national attention after Saturday's game this morning as well. How does he deal with that? And do you see him ever talking about it, or his teammates talking about it with him? How does he react to all this attention? Yeah,
Blake's the same every day. That's one of the beautiful things about him. He's already been in this morning and got his workout in that he does on the court. He's the same every day, and he's just about being a really good teammate, being locked in on what we're trying to do and trying to help us win. Try to be a leader, not try to be. He's a leader for our program, especially the young guys, and a great example of how to work and how to be a great teammate. He doesn't get caught up in that stuff. I don't think he really pays attention to it. I've never heard him talk about it. I really haven't heard the guys talk about it. He just plays the game and takes the day that's in front of him and tries to make the best of that day.
Jeff, thank you. Appreciate the
All
time.
right. See you guys. Thanks.